This is big breaking emergency news. We are now seeing officials warn people to stay inside during certain times of the day. We are now seeing this happen in New York City, and multiple other cities around the country as well are warning people to stay inside, and they're putting out signs and alerts along the city and around the city warning people that they could be exposed to certain chemicals and certain diseases as well. So let's get into all the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit that like and that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated, and it just helps to get these warnings out, and I appreciate that. All right, so this is what's currently happening in New York City. I have this news report. This is a local news report that's going around New York City. They're warning people to stay inside during certain times of the day. And they're also putting up signs warning people as well too. And this has been going on actually the past few days. This has been happening on the 27th, the 28th, and now it's going to happen again on September 3rd. They are warning people in Queens, New York, that they could be affected by this, all right? And we also see announcements coming out of Massachusetts as well. Certain cities in Massachusetts are also declaring similar restrictions right now. So I want you guys to listen to this announcement that's coming out of New York City. This is from local news, what they're reporting on. And they're also putting these announcements as they drive around. They have these speakers warning people as well. So I want you to listen to this really quick. This is a speaker announcement of cars driving around New York City. And then we also have this announcement from the local news. But listen to this really quick. This is what cars in New York City are announcing right now. People are recording this.
The city is applying pesticide to reduce the threat of the West Nile virus. To minimize exposure to the pesticide, please go indoors immediately until the trucks have passed.
All right, did you hear that? That's the announcement coming out of New York City right now. They are telling people that they need to stay inside because they are spraying the city for West Nile virus, and they are warning people that this virus is spreading in New York, right? So what's going on? This seems awfully convenient, the timing of this, and this is in New York as well. This isn't happening in like Florida, okay, down south. This is happening in New York City. So this is kind of what's going on here, right? This doesn't seem normal to me. And this is also a report from the New York City local news. I want you to listen to this. And guess what, too? Fauci just got West Nile virus, too. Fauci, Anthony Fauci from 2020 and all this stuff. He is in the hospital right now with West Nile virus. What's going on here, right? Listen to this report here, too, and then I'll give you more details on that.
New health alert tonight. There are growing concerns about positive West Nile samples across New York City. And tonight, the city's health department is going to begin spraying for mosquitoes in certain neighborhoods in an effort to reduce the risk of them spreading the virus. News 4's Erica Byfield is live in Central Park with what you should know. Erica?
Well, Gilma, that's right. Today we found out that the spraying is going to take place overnight. We learned that the city trucks are going to roll out close to midnight as the city tries to deal with the West Nile virus.
Come on, finish off, come on.
The Grace Church cross-country team is still at it despite mosquitoes lurking in and around Central Park. According to their head coach, midday isn't too bad.
But as it starts to get dusk, I definitely notice it when I come out runs myself.
New York City's Department of Health sends staff out every day to trap and test the pests. They found that the numbers of mosquitoes with West Nile are up across the board in all 5 boroughs when you compare this year to last. The lighter images in the citywide map show the most recent sightings.
We are focusing only those areas, with a high chance of disease transmission. Disease spread, if not treated.
The common thread, standing water, which helps mosquitoes breed. All the testing and results led the health department to target 2 communities. Upper Manhattan, all of Central Park, and the West Side all the way up north will get sprayed tonight. Then on August 28th, teams will use city trucks to spray the southwestern portion of Brooklyn down to Coney Island.
I think it's necessary. Usually the mosquitoes find me So they bother me a lot.
Just last week, we learned the man who led the country through the COVID-19 crisis, Dr. Anthony Fauci, got infected with West Nile. He thinks that he got it in his backyard near D.C., and it's an issue in New Jersey, too, where the health department says that cases appeared earlier in the season than expected and will probably be with us until October. Officials especially concerned because a number of these cases are now in humans. New York City has had 6 so far this year. The advice is to use repellent, wear the right clothing, and the most important,
We ask people to remove standing water around their homes, and these are some of the preventive measures, they can adopt, in order to protect themselves.
So again, we found out today that 6 New Yorkers now have West Nile. From what the doctor told us, all of them are out of the hospital and they're expected to be okay. He also mentioned that the spraying is going to start around midnight and should go until 5 o'clock in the morning. Erica Byfield, News 4, New York.
All right, so you guys heard that there. That's what's going on in New York City right now, right? They're in high alert, apparently, for this West Nile virus, and they're saying that they're going to spray again. They've been doing this the past few nights, and they're doing it again on September 3rd. It says city trucks will spray pesticides in sections of Queens. Spraying will start around 8:30 p.m. and will last until 6 a.m. the following morning. If it rains, it will be delayed to September 4th. Right? And they're also saying Brookville, Cambria Heights, Worlton, Rochdale, Rosedale, South Jamaica, Springfield Gardens, and St. Albans will all be sprayed as well too, right? And says trucks will return to Manhattan again on September 5th, but this time on the opposite side of the island, and they will also be spraying Lower Manhattan, Greenwich Village, and the Lower East Side and more. It says trucks will come out between 10:30 p.m. and go till 6 a.m. on September 5th. All right, so this is a citywide event that they're doing here, and they're telling people to stay inside. All right, they're putting out these signs, all right, on all the electrical poles, and all the posts in the city are getting these signs warning people that they're spraying as well too. Okay, and here's what the sign is saying. It's saying that this area will be sprayed with these pesticides, and here are the 3 pesticides that they're saying will be sprayed in these regions. It will either be one of these 3 or a combination of both. Anvil 10+10, that's what it's called. Mirus 3.0, Duet, Adulticide. Right, those are the 3 pesticides that are going to be sprayed inside of New York City right now. Okay, so what's going on? New York City, West Nile virus, they're saying that this is going to spread, and somehow Fauci got it too at the same exact time. This is kind of, the timing of this, coincidence of this is kind of insane, right? It says here, when Dr. Fauci became infected with West Nile virus, a mosquito-borne disease, it was so severe that he had to be hospitalized, right? And he told the news that it's going to take weeks and weeks to get back to normal. Quote, weeks and weeks to get back to normal. That's what Fauci is reporting. He's saying he's extremely sick from this virus, right? And sorry, it's so hot out here. It's crazy out. I got the windows open, and it's still just, it's cooking out here today, all right? And you guys might be able to hear some live fire training in the background, right? There's some training going on not too far away from here. You guys might be able to hear that in the background, not sure. But it says here that this is also spreading to other parts of the country as well too. They're also doing these similar restrictions and lockdowns, all right? They're saying in Oxford, Massachusetts, they're also announcing these same restrictions, okay? But they're saying that in this place, it's for the Eastern equine encephalitis, right? That's what they're saying that this one's for. And we're seeing multiple cities there, little towns, all right? Oxford, Webster, Douglas, Sutton, those are the 4, sorry about that, and Massachusetts are at critical levels, okay? Oxford, Webster, Douglas, and Sutton. These 4 towns, they're saying, are at critical Eastern equine encephalitis, this EEE, and they're telling people do not go outside during the nighttime because they could get bit and they could be infected with this, right? And this normally infects horses, right? That's why it has equine in it. It's normally a horse disease, but we're not seeing a major horse infection. We're not seeing a ton of horses just like get sick and drop, okay? So what's going on here? And they're saying here hundreds of parents have signed a petition urging town officials not to restrict playing times for youth sports, including baseball, football, cheerleading, and soccer. So many attended a recent meeting of the local health board that the deputy fire chief began turning people away. Right? So people are pushing back and saying, no, we don't want this. We don't want these restrictions and these lockdowns. And this is key to standing firm. Right? People are letting it be known before things get out of control that we don't want this. We don't want to have these lockdowns and restrictions. That's what people are saying in these towns right now, right? Because they've been talking about shutting down all kids' sports because they're normally after school. They're normally, especially going into fall and winter, they're happening in the dark, most of them, okay? And that's when mosquitoes come out. That's the theory here, and it's true. Mosquitoes typically are not, if you're in the direct sunlight and it's hot out, you're probably not going to get bit by a mosquito unless you're in really tall grass, right? Because they do like the shade, they do hide in the grass, and they do come out in the evening, right? Once it starts getting dark, that's when you start getting torn up, right? And they are talking about restricting all the sports, all the activities for children, all these things, shutting them down and not allowing them to happen, okay? And does anyone else remember this massive mosquito release? Not saying these are related, okay? I'm just saying this is another news event that did happen a couple years ago now. It was a major mosquito release of GMO mosquitoes from the company Oxitec, which actually had funding and grants from companies and organizations run by Bill Gates, okay? So Oxitec, it's a company that creates genetically modified organisms, specifically bugs. They make GMO ticks, GMO mosquitoes, GMO moths, right? They have a lot of different insects, right, that they genetically modify. And one of them that they released billions of in the Florida Keys, and they actually had a release in California too. They released millions of them there too. There were billions though released in the Florida Keys 2 years ago in 2022. Right? Billions of these genetically modified mosquitoes were released. And I'm not saying these are related, but it is weird. And it is strange that we see these things happen after, right? A couple years later, we keep seeing these. It seems like it's not helping, if anything, right? Whether it's related or not, it definitely doesn't seem like it's helping anything, because that was the whole sell here, is that this will reduce mosquito diseases, and doesn't seem like that's happening. Right now we're seeing outbreaks in New York, and Fauci's even saying that he got it in Washington, D.C. in his backyard. Okay, so what's going on here? This is very strange, and this is just one of the multiple different things that we are dealing with here that they are trying to push right now. So what do you guys think is going on? Let me know down below, guys, and just hit it up for me down there, please. It helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. And let me know if you are in New York City and what you are seeing there. Right? Let me know if you are there, because there's signs. People are posting pictures of it. People are saying what's going on with the spraying, and it's loud. Right? These sprays are really loud. You'll hear it. Right? If it's outside your bedroom window, you're going to hear it. It's going to be this loud buzzing noise outside the window. And they're spraying, right? They're spraying those 3 chemicals, and they're saying they're allegedly safe, but there are certain side effects, especially if you have direct exposure to them. Like if you're right outside when the trucks are going by spraying and you get hit with this, you're definitely going to feel nausea, sickness, maybe even have vision problems, things like that, burning in your eyes potentially. And long term, that could increase your risk of who knows what, right? Who knows what diseases long term getting sprayed with this stuff right in the face. So make sure you are inside, right? I hate to say that because it's one of these things you don't want to give up your freedom. But at the same time, you don't want to be sprayed in the face with this stuff. It's going to be nasty. You do want to be inside. And the entire air in the area is just going to be saturated with this stuff. And that's just what they're telling us is being sprayed, right? Hopefully nothing else is being sprayed. But those are the 3 things that they're telling us are being sprayed in there. So the air will be saturated. You'll be able to probably like smell it a little bit too if you open your window, and it'll probably seep in slowly into your apartment or your home, and you can smell it. All right, I used to live right next to these orange groves, okay, and they'd be spraying all the time, and it's very similar. These sprayers, it's a very loud buzzing sound. It would just be the same sprayers, just on a tractor though, instead of a truck, and you can smell it. You can smell it. And one time I got hit right in the face because they were right next door, and I went outside to go grab something, ran outside really quick at night when they were spraying, and it was the worst timing ever. They were right next to us and spraying our yard pretty much, like just right into our yard, and I got hit right with this stuff, and I was feeling sick, nauseous, dizzy for a while, right? So avoid this stuff, stay inside. And if you have some type of filter system, like AC system, get some type of, if you can stop at the store, get a heavy duty filter, right? Get a very low micron filter to filter out any particulate, right? There's different levels to the filters, just depending on the brand you have, right? But get a heavy duty one to help filter out some of this stuff too. You can also get like carbon filter scrubber things that go on the back of your AC filter too. You can cut them out and put it on there with it, so you have a carbon scrub too. All right, so thank you guys. Hope you guys have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.